Welcome to another episode of the Angels Positivity and Love Show. Incredible guests the world over with amazing insights, experiences, and a super high vibe here in the heart. It doesn't mean they're always a healer helping others, and they often are giving service to others in one form or fashion. But they do have something that I'm going to call high frequency or love that they do willingly share with other human beings. And so, coming back to the show today, Reverend Dr. Julie Moret out of California. She's part of Agape International. Better say it the right way. Agape International Spiritual Center with Michael Bernard Beckwith. Uh, she wears a lot of hats. Has done a ton of modalities over time. Just literally climbed up to Mount Everest base camp on a trip. I think it was beginning of last year. I'm gonna have to guess. Feels like it was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
while ago. Okay,
yeah.
and and
Not that long ago.
I'm excited just to have her back on. She's super high vibe, knows her stuff, been doing it a long time, and she's got a super, we'll call it intuitive or an ability to do opening openness on behalf of others and to touch others to help them feel more comfortable with their life situations so they can embrace more love and then share more love with others. So she passes it along. Julie, great to see you again. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. I want to start by giving you your flowers. I That opening that we just had in private, I felt so seen. I felt like I was in such good hands. I felt like I kept hearing, "You're in the right place. You're in the right place." And the first time we got together, I was like, "What's this guy doing? What's this guy doing?" And this time, I just recently had a mystical event, and so I thought, like, here I am with my people. Like Michael gets it. And so I just want to take a minute and acknowledge your excellence, and I'm very grateful and appreciative already.
Well, thank you. And I've got goosebumps top to bottom everywhere. It's like I got a wind on me. Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to do $1 trillion tough question. If we, not to touch on any negativity, where you put your focus is where you put it, and how you spend your energy is how you spend it. So we'll dance right over any of the tough, complex stuff. But that doesn't mean we can't lightly touch on it. What's going
Sure.
on with mankind right now, humanity? There is a ton of complexity everywhere you look. How do you want to handle that topic? It's not easy, but what's your take on everything right now?
Oh, I think everything's going fine. We're all good. There's no issues. Next question. Just
Oh
kidding.
my God, I
Um,
love that.
I do spend a lot of time thinking about it, and I believe that what is on deck for humanity is as old as time. It's the battle of good versus evil, light and dark, and it is an outpicturing of what we come here in this lifetime to wrestle with, in this lifetime within ourselves. And so I believe that we are here to be homoluminous beings, beings made of light. I keep a definition of that by my desk, and I just want to share what I believe we are evolving, we are meant to evolve into. And homoluminous beings represents a spiritual, evolutionary, or post-human concept referring to an awakened being who radiates light from within. Like that's who we really are. And it signifies a shift from mere physical existence to consciousness driven energetic state characterized by unconditional love, spiritual wisdom, and the ability to perceive and live within the luminous energy field. So there is a becoming that we are in the midst of right now, and it looks challenging and sticky and confusing at different times. And the other piece to that is, as we are wrestling with good versus evil and light and dark, what I have come to realize is that it's not black and white. Because, and these last few years have shown me this, because, we've had big events. And, maybe somebody was believed what I believed when the pandemic happened. Maybe somebody believed what I believed about masks or vaccinations or Israel and Palestine or bombing Iran or not bombing Iran. What I've come to realize is nobody is my person in all the things. And so we all, and also let's just be clear, we all live in different algorithmic universes. So the information I'm getting is different than the information you're getting or the person next to you. It's all based on what I click and like. So we're not even getting the same data, the same statistics, the same images. And so I feel like there, it's not black or white. It's not, this person sitting in a big seat in office is bad or this one's good. It's how do we metabolize, work with all the different forces that be within ourselves, the way that we cultivate our consciousness, the way I could go and go and go. This is such exciting material. This
Keep
is
going.
so
This is
okay.
perfect.
So my work is the frequency factor. It's about how do I cultivate my consciousness so I can elevate my energetic frequency, because we attract people, places, circumstances, and events at the level of our consciousness. So all I can do, which is huge, is cultivate my consciousness, keep oscillating up, and then my very beingness shifts everything around me. I feel like that's the work. Just that
I
just just that little thing.
I'll do two quotes, but I'm going to wind you right back up to get right back on this horse, this topic. One
Yeah.
is angels once said there is no right or wrong. There is proper understanding. And so I'm going to ask you in just a moment, what is that understanding? And then I've got a quote from Star Wars that's pretty easy. I just have to find it. It's right here. I've got it almost. Okay. Luke, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi talking to Luke Skywalker. Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend on our own point of view. So there is no right or wrong. There's proper understanding. What is that proper understanding? And then our own point of view. It's exactly what you've been talking about.
I feel like I came into this life being somebody who naturally sees, feels compassion, feels empathy for all sides of a thing. And so um, I think that there's a phrase called walking the way. I'm going to be speaking to that at the Agape International Spiritual Center March 29th. And walking the way is it is it's about clicking into the gear of our life. It is the fundamental, like unknowable realm of the universe. But when we walk the way, we walk with a level of non-attachment. We walk with a level of not hoarding anything, knowledge, people, stuff, properties, lands, all the things. And so I feel like there is this agenda on our souls to be so free of attachment, so trusting in our faith and in love and in goodness and the frequency of love. Dr. David Hawkins, Power versus Force, the frequencies of love, of peace, of beauty are higher than the frequencies of baser emotions like anger, fear, doubt, worry, jealousy. So when we oscillate up, then what happens is we begin to create the world we want to live in. And we do that in our consciousness. So I don't know what the question was, but I do know what the answer is. And it's about doing every cultivating within ourselves to keep raising up our frequency, and we will shift the world we live in.
I do have a Gary Zukav quote, "Seed of the Soul," that I think goes right to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
You change the way that you shape the light which is flowing through you by changing your consciousness. So do you feel that world events,
Yeah.
internal events in America, everything is our opportunity for growth, technically speaking?
100%. And we don't want to hear this because we want to make some people bad people and we want to make us the good ones, right? But it's all an external event representing our internal selves.
Hmm.
And it only can manifest externally because it exists within us, all of us. And so the work is to be done inside. Astrophysicists say if you wave your hand in one place, it has a ripple effect that extends to the farthest star. So as we do the work on ourselves that shifts the experiences that we have outside.
You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Let's toss that one out there. You can be happy now in this moment without a single reason. Take us somewhere with that one.
Yeah, that's like, the Buddha gets up there and can laugh. And even my mentor, my teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith, I have been with him for many years now. I have seen him get up on that stage. We stream to over like 170 countries and territories every week. It's a vast stage. I've seen him get up there after his mother died, after the closest of friends died, after the attacks on September 11th. I've seen him in the most intense of times. And I was always curious because he could still have joy. He could still have laughter. And I kind of didn't understand it until I realized it's everything that I've been saying, which is when we stay true, we're not ignoring, we're not being resigned to something bad. We are aligning with what is true. And so as we align with life that is alive, life that is eternal, life that is forever, that is love never ends, and life is eternal. As we align with that force, that even when we go through hard things, and we will, that's part of that grinding against to create the diamond. That's what we're here. We're cultivating. So they're going to be hard things. There are things that drop us to our knees. And then it's, what do I do in my consciousness? How do I love more? How do I love harder? How do I show up and rise again? And that's part of what evolves humanity forward. We're evolving into homoluminous beings. We, all us in our physical body things, we're evolving. This iteration of humans with, our suits and our corporatocracy and all our things, we are going to change. The complexion of humanity is changing. It's leaving in a kicking and screaming way, but we are evolving, and that's not far-fetched. That's not airy-fairy. There was a time when, we were part of a primordial ooze. There was a time when we were cave people. Like human beings, what we are now is evolving. And so I find that really exciting. And so we can have joy now because joy always is. So we root into that which is eternal. It's not denying the crappy stuff that goes on. It's just letting, the more I can allow my joy to be unshakable, and I'm like preaching, I definitely need to practice more what I preach. Like it gets hard and it gets challenging, and my son goes out and I worry and all the things. There's all the humanness, but how much can you build up the tools? And that's my whole thing. I love doable tools and practices. Tools and practices to get back on track when we get off, get back on track when we get off, so that we can keep our joy intact, and the joy will evolve us forward. The love evolves us forward. They're creative. Every frequency is creative, whether it's love or whether it's pissosity, whatever energy, whatever feeling we're having, because thought plus emotion is creative. When you have a strong thought backed by strong emotion, it creates. So if I'm thinking, I really don't want to see that person, I really don't want to see that person, I really don't want to see that person, guess who I'm going to see? But if I'm thinking like love and joy and beauty, then those are the experiences that I have. We are co-creators. I like talking to you, Michael. This is fun.
I've
You're
got a
like a
couple.
wind-up doll. I'm just ready to run.
I've got a couple more quotes for you. Big Mary said about 10 years ago, love is a constant. And I'll just add as a quick postscript, I mean, it never went away. Max love in and around you, interdimensionally, just everything is love. But she said, love is a constant. Open your eyes to find love. And then I have another quote that's a little more complex. A jewel buried in earth a million years is not discolored or harmed. And so a genuine heart can be brought out in anyone, anytime. Where do you want
Yeah,
to take
I
us with those?
yeah, I really believe that. I had a phone call with somebody yesterday and we were talking about light versus dark and good versus evil, and that person really believes that, there's some just completely evil entities in the world. Um, I really have always felt that we are all everything and that we all have the capacity for everything. I think that environment and certain things get us so hardwired
Mm.
that it's really hard to change, to make adjustments for some people that are really far in either direction. Um, but I'm just a hopeful kind of a gal, and I believe that when there's willingness, everything is possible. There's some people that just I don't even think, and you have to have a level of introspection to realize that there's even something to learn. I think one of, and some people just don't have that. They just don't have that, and so they go about creating chaos everywhere they are, for themselves, for their countries, for the world.
Mm.
But there's another piece to layer in here, which is this is the year of the fire horse.
Mm.
In Chinese culture, this is the year of the fire horse. And the thing about the fire horse is just galloping straight ahead. But what we must take a moment with is being clear about your direction. Because we are galloping full speed ahead, but where are you going? So I really like the idea of regularly, consistently taking the opportunity to settle in, to get quiet and reevaluate, where do I want to go? Because in this year of fire horse, you're getting there. But that means to me, it requires a level of discipline, because my consistent thoughts backed by intense emotion will be creative. So I could be galloping in the direction of something I don't want if that's what I'm ruminating on constantly. And so, I love like doable tools and tips. And one suggestion that I have is to get clear, like what is your heart's desire for this year? We could just lock it in on this year, and then maybe tape it by your bedside, by your bathroom mirror, by your computer. What's a quality? At the Agape International Spiritual Center, we speak about qualities of God. Those are eternal qualities like love, peace, joy, faith, truth, justice, righteousness, beauty. And so to take a moment and say, like, what's the quality I want to welcome in this year? What quality am I saying yes to this year? And that's a way to have in my first book, What's Your What? I speak a lot about rigging your environment so it pays silent inspirational dividends. So one of the things that I like to do is just have my environment remind me constantly of who I am and who I desire to be. And so, like, right above this computer screen is a snow leopard on Mount Everest with a great big full moon. And that, like, that's like brings out my badassery, that part of me that is that and wants to be that, like the fierceness. And so my whole environment is constantly rigged, and it does some of the work for us, especially when the world can be distracting, it can be depleting, it can take us off track. So one thing I would love for listeners to take away is, how can you rig your environment so it is self-inspiring, self-nurturing, self-loving, self-reminding?
We're going to jump in a different direction, still kind of related, since there's something going on with planet Earth. We could call it a rising in frequency, animal consciousness hopping in to help us out, the whole universe conspiring to help humans kind of pop open more. Who knows? You're going to hopefully touch on that a little bit too. But I'm going to give three separate examples, and I'd like you to tie them together. One is going to be the Celestine Prophecy movie, just one scene. The other is an ER room visit by a couple that was put on a blog, Cynthia Sue Larson, The Mandela Effect. It's not Mandela, it's Nelson Mandela. I got it right finally, for anybody who's been following along on the shows. And you can meet Nelson Mandela if you want to bring him in later. And then the third is marble counting with Elizabeth April. She's an Instagram figure, remote viewer, and channeler, and so on. Here are the three examples. I'd like you to tie these together. And I think ultimately is the question your reality. Each person's generating it through their consciousness. And I did the Gary Zukav quote earlier, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you can speed up time, slow down time. Time might not be in a few years looking back the way we knew it. And here are the three examples. Elizabeth April was with another adult in the same room. She just recounted this maybe 3 weeks ago. She's a child under 5, I think, who knows how to count to maybe 10. She puts a marble in the child's hand. 1, the child says. Puts a second marble in, witnessed by the other adult. 2. Third marble, 3. Fourth marble, 4. Fifth marble, 4. 4 marbles is what's there. We had a split in realities. The adults are at 5, the child's like at 4. I'm going to jump to Celestine Prophecy. That movie's been around forever. Um, A bunch of good people are in a jungle, bad soldiers are trying to find them, and that's all anybody needs to know about that movie. They raise their vibration, and the soldiers come within a few feet and never see them. They go invisible, and whoop, they are saved. The third example is a couple writes in to Cynthia Sue Larson, who's been on the show a few times, and they're describing a home accident. The husband needs to go to the ER. Ambulance arrives. They know that ER is 24/7 packed. They get there, every stall is empty. The two nurses, the two ambulance people have been fantastic. The clock goes by in 4 or 5 hours. They get perfectly treated, perfect experience. Everyone's sort of referencing how busy the place is. They don't see anybody. Stalls are empty. They get in, get out. The place is empty to them. The nurses are like, no, it's packed. And so you don't almost have to go to Cynthia Sue Larson's newsletter to understand there was some sort of a split going on. They had the best experience. Got in, he got treated, got out, he's fine. And so between the three of them, there's got to be something popping up for Julie Moret right now. What do you want to share?
Yeah, so with the first one, with the child, it reminds me of a story. There was a young girl who was getting in trouble at school all the time, just all the time getting in trouble at school. And the principal called the mother into the office and said, your daughter has like a mental disability. She's just not able to focus in school, and we're going to need to kick her out of school. You're going to have to homeschool her. And so the mother decided, let me take my daughter to a doctor and figure out what's going on. And so she takes her daughter to a psychologist. And so mom and daughter and doctor are sitting in the office, and the doctor says, okay, before we have our meeting, I just need to speak with your mother outside. And the reason why the doctor said that, as they were all sitting in the office, the doctor noticed that the daughter was like really fidgety, like she just couldn't move around and she was really fidgety. And so doctor and mother go outside, and right before they exit the office, the doctor just flips on some music. They go out of the office and they start watching the little girl through a hidden window. And the little girl is like trying to sit really still because she knows she's in so much trouble. She doesn't know what happened, but she knows it's her fault and she's in big trouble. But there's music playing. And like, how do you not move when there's music playing? And before long, she's like bouncing in her seat, and then her feet are moving, and then she's just twirling all around the office. This makes me want to cry right now. The doctor turns to mother and says, you do not have a problem child. You've got a dancer. And that young girl, so then the mother took her and she started taking dance classes after school. Her grades balanced out, her behavior balanced out. When we get being in the environment of that which is connected with our longing, with our hearts, it's like oxygen support. And when we get that oxygen support, everything else is more manageable. She did well in school. She went on to become a Broadway star. She went on to choreograph Broadway musicals. And so the lesson in the teaching there is we are very quick to medicate our children. We are very quick to tell our children when they are wrong. And I really love the idea. I especially love this idea as somebody, as a child, I grew up seeing angels and astral traveling and having all kinds of mystical experiences. And so the degree to which we can create an environment that cultivates who this being is the degree to which they're able to grow into their fullest self, you know? So I don't know what happened with the counting, but before I would tell the child, no, no, don't you know it's 5, I'd give a breath because I don't know what's happening in this person, but maybe I can build up a trust. You know, I keep looping back to that in this conversation, that our job is to root into a trust that life is for us and never against us, that there's something of perfection that is unfolding. And with the other account of, you know, the person going into the very, very crowded hospital room and somehow getting seen and being able to leave when everybody's waiting online, that reminds me also of many experiences that I think if you think about it and reflect back, we've all had those experiences where when you are so aligned with what you need, with what you want, with what you desire, it's like, you know, it's like the traffic parts, you know, like the ways part, and you're able to do what you need to do and get what you need to get done. And that is, to me, the very exciting, thrilling, unseen aspect of this life that we're in. We seem to think That's all we are, that this stuff is real. And there's a whole other realm, which is probably why I felt so in the right place when we began today, because it's like, oh my gosh, somebody understands, somebody gets it. It can be exhausting if you are a person, and anybody listening to this show, it's like angels, positivity, and love. So anybody listening to this show gets it. It can be exhausting trying to function in a world pretending like there are not these other realms that we can lean into, that we can allow. And not just that we can, but that we must, if we are to evolve forward as human beings. Like, we're ready to evolve. We are bursting at the seams, and the universe just keeps giving us these insane events, one after another. What are you going to do now? Are you going to keep rooting in that which is base and that which is um, at the lowest level of frequency? Are you going to decide to rise? Like, your choice, baby. This person I was talking to yesterday, he's an astrologer, and he's like, it is all right before you. You could do it this lifetime, or you can do it the next one, right? Like, your choice. It's our choice right now.
I had something to say and I forgot what it was, but we're going to dive right into what you just touched on. We'll start experiencing the universe. Is love the fabric of the universe, Julie?
Love is sticky for me. Like, I don't even know what love is really, but I mean, the answer is yes, but what is it? Because is it a pretty thing? Is it sweet and soft and glittery? Is it fierce and badass and strong? I think it's all of those things.
Mm.
So it's the most true meaning of love. Like, agape is it doesn't mean like the syrupy love. It's not even it's like brotherly love. It's that love of everything, which is hard when it needs to be hard and soft when it needs to be soft. So in that sense, yes, love is the fabric of everything. And I think we're all coming here just trying to figure out, like, how do you do it? Because sometimes it hurts and sometimes it's scary and it feels good, but then I'm so exposed. And so it's all the things.
Well, I'm going to light some sage here in Texas to California. Time and space isn't what you think it is, or may not even exist at all, or it does and it doesn't. I'm going to light sage. You can catch it wherever you are in the world. It doesn't matter what year it is, if you're in Christchurch, Tokyo, or Berlin. Just give yourself a break and let your heart do the smelling without smelling, the Zen thing, catching the scent without catching the scent. But if you want to catch flowers and ocean after that, you can. Ask angels, the universe. Lots of loving beings are in place to help you with this. I guess the rub is, what will you allow for? So in this moment, toss caution to the wind. Catch a little sage instead. Try too hard, though. It might be tobacco, sweetgrass, juniper, cedar, sage, something. Okay, you're already probably getting the sage in California, Julie. Let us know when you get it.
Mhm.
And then could you have your favorite angels, Jesus, Mary, Muhammad, Buddha, anybody, bring in extra flowers. If you want to get a hand on the shoulder, get a hand on the shoulder. You don't have to say that part out loud, but catch an ocean breeze. I got a microphone here down below the screen. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to blow extra, but we're blaming angels. Don't blame Canada. I'm going to blow Hawaii all over you. It's like a little wind, sea breeze, sea spritz on the nose. Here it comes. Catch a little gentle aloha on a Maui sea breeze. Did you get a little wind?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna snub the sage smoke out, but if you don't mind getting something else, it could be a private vision, it could be a good mantra to share with all of us, or a reminder. It could be a passed over pet, elephant consciousness coming in, dolphin consciousness. They're pretty cool. What will you allow for? I mean, we can just ditch the whole spirituality topic. That's for all of us any day. What are we allowing for in each moment? Have more fun, smile more, think less. And Julie, I'm going to put up in a little bit, I'll put up one angel photo named Joy. And you can even just have her come in. It's a pink ball light up on the screen for everybody. Julie and I were playing before the show. Um, what's Joy got as a reminder for all of us right now?
To stay lighthearted with everything that's happening in the world, to keep our hearts open, to keep loving, to keep trusting. Life is for you. My life is for me. I trust my life. My life is for me. I trust my life. My life is for me. And to keep that bubble like the Buddha, keep that bubble of joy.
I'm going to do a few more angels, a Charlotte, a Minn, Archangel Michael, and then four archangels together, including Michael. And I felt like there was another character I was supposed to do. There is, but it'll come to me. I'm totally vacuous. This is great as a show host. Okay, here's Charlotte. What's she got for everybody? She's like everybody's favorite third grade teacher or third form if you're in New Zealand right now, with words meant to help you expand, not the one who got you in trouble and sent you to a doctor. What's Charlotte got for all of us?
Yeah, like it's almost like she's taking us by the hand. We are not in this life on our own or by ourselves, that we have a loving being that's got us by the hand and that's guiding us. And we're going to fall and we're going to skin our knees and we're going to have to get back up again. And they're going to be bullies in the schoolyard and they're going to be best friends and there's going to be everything because we're doing life. And there's an adult in the room and we are well tended to.
Brilliant. Okay, and one more like my guardian angel, you met her in the 90s, I think, in New York City. She's 80,000 people's guardian angel, and I had a guest on before the first time you went on. I think you were on in like beginning of October 2024, maybe late September. I had a guest, it was episode 110, August 30th of 2024, Dr. Karen Wyatt, retired physician. She knew right away this was her guardian angel. And she shares on that show. People can go back to it. I've plugged it the most in 500 tapings in 3 years. I've plugged this memory the most. She's a little girl safe in bed, maybe 8 or 9, tucked into bed in a safe bed, safe house. And an angel all in white shows up. She wakes up. They connect. From that moment on, she wants to be a doctor, a physician. And she goes on to med school and everything else. And here she is, a retired physician, and she made the mistake, and this is a great story, at med school as an intern, residency, the final step before you become a full doctor. She's in a crowd, and it's like day one, and they're like, "Why are you here?" And she said, "Love," in front of everybody. And then she learned to keep her mouth shut forevermore. But over the decades, doctors recognized she had a special talent with patients and stuff they couldn't figure out. They'd send the patient over to her and she'd figure it out. Even the doctors started hanging out with her, like, "What are you doing? Like, how do you do this?" And so she's fascinating. She got to meet her guardian angel on a Redondo beach as a full on human. So I'm going to throw a hand grenade into the mix. It's a hand grenade of love. Extra light into the mix. If you want to see an angel in full human form or a light being or Jesus as a human, ask for it. You might have to get out of your way a little bit to allow for it, but just ask for it. So you might have met her in Manhattan, but let's just have Minn come in. She's light waves of energy and water, Mother Hawaii-ish. Beautiful, soft-spoken professorial angel. What's she got as a reminder for all of humanity?
That not only do we have a very grounded, wise person that's got us by the hand and is supporting us throughout this life, but we never leave the primordial ooze. We never leave the primordial ooze. We are always in that omnipresent river of existence where all there is love and beauty and divine intelligence. And this is a sphere, a realm in which we are all always engaged, that there is this river of consciousness, this strata of our existence where all of humanity is already united and in oneness. And she's a reminder of that primordial soup, that consciousness that we are all cohabitating, and that it is good, it is love, it is nurturing, it is support, and it is brewing, it is evolving.
Hey, everything you've been saying today is brilliant, and thank you. Archangel Michael, one more quick one from him, and then I'm going to bring in Jaguar Spirit or Jaguar Mama.
Hmm. Archangel Michael is the reminder that we have work to do. So we're not like sitting on a ride. We have actual work to do. We need to be boots on the ground. And that work looks like sitting and inclining your ear that you may hear the word of God, that you may hear spirit. So what does that for you? Is it sitting in meditation? Is it walks in nature? Is it your bare feet in the grass? What is it that helps you hear, feel, see, know truth? It could be writing. It could be when you're in the gym working out. It could be dancing. What is it that writing? Yeah. So what is it that works for you? And to make sure you're doing the work so that you can hear clearly. It's very important that no matter where you are, that you've got some kind of spiritual practice, and it doesn't have to look the same. but what is it that works for you that lets you feel truth?
Nice. Uh, I have Jaguar Spirit, but I'd like, if you don't mind, and you don't have to share this out loud, if you want to quietly off camera put a hand out like you have a dog standing next to you, but a little bigger, you can have Snow Leopard Spirit right next to you, and you can feel Snow Leopard fur. You don't have to share any of that out loud. You'll feel the purring. You can have a dual conversation. Here's Jaguar. Front end, you're talking to Jaguar. On the side, you might be chatting with Snow Leopard next to you. I just haven't done Snow Leopard before, so we'll let Snow Leopard take care of herself. But what are you getting from Jaguar for all of us?
Oh, it's the fierceness letting us know that I've always been with you. I've never left your side. I'm always with you. I've never left your side. I'm always with you. I will never leave you. It's that fierceness.
And I have two more photos of her, one crossing a river for fluidity, but you can, with the other hand, put out a hand and feel soft, short, wiry fur, different than tiger. And what are you hearing now from Jaguar?
That we're on the move. We're on the move.
Okay, and I have one more where Jaguar is hanging out, full perspective, putting it all together, being in the moment truly, as I guess Jaguar always is. What are you getting now?
Yes. So that's the embodiment of walking the way. Walking the way it's not masculine energy where you got to go out and take and grab and get and hoard, and it's being and being in such a solid, fierce, powerful, divine way that all that you need comes right to you.
Ooh, and I have one final figure for today, unless you got a request later. But for the moment, Geronimo, older Geronimo, and I'm going to give a quote that he said just a couple days ago on the 9th of March. Geronimo said, "Compassion and positivity do wonders in this state of uncertainty and negativity on planet Earth." And he was being specifically asked about that stuff. Okay, here's older Geronimo. Unconditional love, action, 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 dry wit. And he usually starts answering before you can finish the question. What are you getting from him?
Yeah. So Geronimo is about making sure that we have the humility to remember to honor and stand in gratitude for those who have come before, for the sages, for the ancestors, for the wise ones, that we honor and love our elders in this lifetime. We kind of throw people away, at least in the United States, and it's common not throw people away, but we don't tend to them in a way that we can. We don't welcome them into the home. We don't welcome their wisdom, to take the time to glean wisdom, to glean guidance, to honor and revere the wise ones and the sages, and to call in that wisdom every single day to be held, because we are to be held by those that came before us, and to not have the arrogance to think we're the ones doing it now. No, are backed, we are guided, and to lean into that guidance, to welcome it in, to stand in gratitude.
I have this big long sheet of mantras. I before I got exposed to popping, opening my intuition and everything else, I had little stuff happen throughout my life. But I put together on my first home around 2007 that I purchased. I put all these mantras together on a sheet and I hid it behind a door so people wouldn't be seeing it. But I put it in kind of the column of the house's energy. And here's just one quote. "The jewel buried in the earth" is another quote from that. And here's just a um, sample quick quote. "Nothing ever really goes away until it has taught us what we need to know." But I wanted to do an India quote, Siddha Katrapa, and this is a little complex, but I'm going to show some light after this, and we'll see what comes out of the seeing auras and this quote. "Whatever the yogin sees is his instruction, and realization that all he sees is unborn. That is the most excellent guru. Innocence is the way to realize non-duality, for here the effects of virtue and vice are one." I sat on that quote since 1993 in a semi-diary that I did not understand it until around 2008. I was sitting in an Acura parking lot. Somebody had handed me Thich Nhat Hanh's Pieces Every Step. And it was the first time I saw a definition of non-duality that stuck. It was the only non-sentence in the whole little book by Thich Nhat Hanh. Blah, 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 non-duality, period. Not two, period. And I went, oh my God, I waited, what is that, 16, 18 years for the definition of non-duality. So park that. I'm going to show a little light. We'll go a little bigger too. And then I'd love for you to take us somewhere between the light and non-duality stuff. Okay, Are you ready to see an aura? Here we go. And at home, one quick dad joke. Bert and Ernie, Sesame Street. If you're laughing, you're letting go. Bert offers Ernie ice cream. What's Ernie say? He says, "Sure, Bert."
Oh no.
Okay, just a little bit of light, and let me know when you've got either colors or a filament of light. What do you see?
Yeah, strings of light.
Okay, and then get an object if you want, but let angels, light beings, galactic figures, Jesus, Mary, Muhammad, Buddha add some flavor, contrast, excitement. What are you getting now?
Like a big spool of light.
And if you want to cup your hands off camera, you can feel it in your hands, and then you can look down and see it in your hands. And then if it's totally exciting, you can bring it into your heart as a gift, but take it as far as you will. As soon as you look down, I'll stop and sit down. Cup your hands, feel it, go into your hands. Ask extra figures to jack it up for you. I don't have English right now. And you can see it mind's eye as well. People at home can play this back. It's a great time to remind you to share, like, subscribe, comment, and more. And if you're shy, an emoji counts. You're helping like 3 other people see this video. We're a really intimate show, which is code and the way angels put it for small. And we will take off at some point. But right now, we're very intimate. But we don't let go of the opportunity to tape with fabulous guests. We have a huge guest footprint for such an intimate show. And Julie, thank you again for coming on this show. What's the big takeaway? And did you get some light at your end and do something with it?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
Mhm.
What's taking all of that? It was almost like a creative exercise. We gave you Elmer's glue, some streamers, some scissors, and colored paper. What do you make of all that?
That last exercise or the whole hour?
The
Last
couple of
exercise.
quotes and the exercise, non-duality, and so on and so on.
Yeah, it comes back to me about cultivating energy, cultivating consciousness. And when I was doing that last exercise, I was in like an 8-hour training with my Qi Gong master this past Sunday, and we were speaking of spinning energy like a tornado, getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And the stronger the energy is that we are cultivating, the more we have to give, and the vaster the reach. And so, as I was doing that exercise with you, um, it was reminding me of a mystical experience that I had during the worm moon on March 3rd. And it feels like everything this time is about is how can I cultivate energy? How can I build it? How can I get stronger and stronger so that what I have to give is served up in the most dynamic, engaging way possible, impactful way?
I'm going to do one final kind of interactive exercise with you. I'm just going to put my hand up in Texas, and then we'll take a couple extra steps. Love and above, and angels will be shepherding this or emceeing it or chaperoning it is the word I was looking for. If you don't mind putting your hand up in California, only love and above, not my bill paying. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't run enough miles today. Not that side of me. What do you first feel for a baseline experience right now?
Quiet.
Okay. And I'm going to now whoosh. If you don't mind leaving your hand up, I'm going to look like I'm playing ping pong, but cheating with 2 paddles or a goose flapping its wings just to make you laugh. And I'm going to blow through my microphone that's below the screen today. I'm going to push a lot of light, but it's really angels. So we're going to blame angels. Don't blame Canada. Here it goes. And we'll do a little goodwill hunting. How about them apples? How'd that feel, Julie?
Felt good. Just aware that it's adorable that we think this hand is real, and that air goes straight through. That we are energy in action. We are energy in form.
Okay, and I'm holding up a bunch of angel photos just for extra reinforcement because I'm going to whoosh you one more time. And here's at least 6 or 7 angels. I can't count. Here comes the bigger whoosh. No whoosh, 2 whooshes are quite the same. I mean, if you're dying to have the same whoosh, be like, I want the same whoosh. But here comes bigger, more fun. It's go big, go home. Most of us watching are at home, so go big. Here we go. And how was that?
Yeah, I'm feeling energy in my hands, and I'm reminded that for some people listening, this might sound like craziness. and that really this is like the PhD level of work to be done on the planet right now, to get in touch with that homoluminous, that aspect of ourselves that is all energy, all light. That's where the solutions are. That's where the answers are. That's where the joy is. That's where the love is.
And we'll do one
And then we
final.
bring it
Oh,
into earth.
we'll do one final one with a shout out to Firehorse, Windhorse, and the luminous human bit that you mentioned before. That was brilliant, literally. And here it comes, the third one. But Julie, if you don't mind getting extra energy, we'll call it rippling of universal light consciousness that comes your way that keeps carrying forward. It's the hallmark gift that keeps on giving beyond today. So that you have to send me a note like a week from now, and like I still am getting gusts of beautiful wind, and it's got a cherry scent on it, cherry blossoms. I don't know. Here comes, what will you allow for at home? Why not allow for more love? It's already here. Here comes the big whoosh. And definitely at home, do not smile. Kidding. Julie Moret, what do you get there in California?
It's really pretty, like lavender, sparkly waves of energy, just nurturing, supporting, resonating.
I love it. If you were to now just give us a little recap, top two or three things people can just keep in their heart during the day that kind of busts them out of whatever bubble they're in.
Yeah, I think that we are here, we're evolving. Things look and may feel challenging, and that the work that we get to do is to continue inclining your ear however you can. Take that time to get your news from your heart, to listen within, and feel what is mine to be right now, what is mine to do right now. And that as we find ways to oscillate up, whether that's, you know, whatever it is that raises your energetic frequency, the certainty of your frequency attracts everything you need. So the degree to which you trust that your life is for you, it's something like, even this is practical. So as my son became a young teenager, that was my mantra, because he'd be going out of the house, and I didn't have like I wasn't holding him anymore. So I would just do this mantra of, I trust his life. I trust that his life is for him. And it felt good inside of me. And I believe that it creates ripples of protection all around him. I trust his life. I trust that his life is for him. And that's a mantra we can say for ourselves. So if there's any takeaway that I would share today, it's to develop a trust that I trust my life. I trust that my life is for me. And that keeps propelling us. We'll learn our lessons. We will stumble, we'll scrape our knees. But remember, we've got this beloved being holding our hand, guiding us every step of the way. We are held in the arms of love the whole way through. We are so well tended to in this lifetime. And to develop a trust in that, and even a joy in this life.
Well, Reverend Dr. Julie Moret, thank you very much for being on Angels, Positivity, and Love. You're wonderful, a total delight. We'll have to have you back again to hear more about Mount Everest. We didn't get to that today, but that's okay.
Yeah, thank you. My absolute pleasure being with you again.